Hello, this is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can get us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com. You can also reach us by 618-235-6959. Today I want to show you a Uniden 2-line telephone. This is a cordless telephone and we have it hooked up. Andrew from California sent this in. And what we have here is I've already taken it apart, and in the handset he's having a problem, and he was using something similar to this. This is a set that we use here in the shop. It's just a headphone and microphone, and they like to be able to use this cordless phone hands-free. So basically they're using something to this nature. And what he has here is, on the side of this telephone you have your jack for your headset, and he's stating that sometimes when you turn the telephone on you don't get a dial tone at all, and it's just because he probably can't hear the audio because of this this little earphone jack here. I'm going to try to get a good shot here of this. This is the metal part of it right here. This is where it's soldered into the board, and then to give you a front view of it, right here. And when he puts the jack in, it kind of it must move around a little bit, and basically what it comes down to is the port here is bad. So what we're going to do is, I have another one, and I'm going to try to show this to you real quick. This is what it looks like basically. And I'm going to go ahead and try to, this is solder wick. So what you want to do when you desolder this kind of stuff from the board, you're going to have to be very careful, and you want to use, it's nothing more than a braided cable with some flux on it, and basically what it does is it sucks up the solder. And so what we want to do here is we want to make sure our gun is clean. I've already pre-desoldered most of this audio jack for the headset. I've desoldered it, but the solder joints on the PC board side are so small, and I hope I can get a view of this. They're so small, and that's probably a little blurry, that you have to be very, very careful that you don't get the traces to a point where they want to lift up off the board. And so I've already taken the solder, sucked up most of the solder, and I'm going to show you a trick, because there's not much you can do, and you have to be very gentle when you do this. You want to take yourself a tool, and you kind of want to get in between it, and then just be very careful with your soldering iron. You want to get this to a position that you can work, and then you kind of want to hit these little solder holes where the joints are, and just kind of work. You want to work this out, and there it just fell out. And so that's the old one right there. Up right here. That's the old one. We want to make sure that we don't get that mixed up with the new one. Of course, the new one is new and it doesn't have any solder on it, but we're going to tin that. So we'll set this over here. Here's a good way to keep all your pieces and parts and keep them right in the battery case. And I'm going to go ahead and tin, and you just want to lightly tin this or that won't fit back in the holes. So I'm just gonna put a little solder on my gun. I'm just gonna put it on the tip, and I'm just gonna touch these. Just to tin them a little bit. And then what I want to do is I want to come over here and I want to make sure, I'm going to look at this real quick, and I want to make sure that all my holes that are in my circuit board are all the way through, so that when I go to put the new audio jack in, that it'll fit. And if you have too much solder on it, you can always kind of swipe it a little bit. And this might take a second, but I've done this a time or two. This might take a second to get this back through the holes here. So we may work on this just a little bit. And I may even have to, sometimes you have to kind of bore the hole out a little bit. And we want to be careful that we don't break any solder traces. So if you have any solder traces that lift up once you do this, what you want to do is you want to make sure you get them back down. Because you're dealing with some very small traces here. And I'm going to work this out just a hair. You won't get this the first time around. If you do, you'll be pretty lucky. And it is a good idea to tin this stuff a little bit before you work on it. I'll try this again. I know that you probably can't see what's going on here, so it's kind of difficult. To watch me work. But now we have the audio jack back in, and the traces are secure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make sure that this is soldered in good. I know you're probably not going to be able to see this well. You always want to keep your soldering gun nice and clean. And I think I'm going to have to shut this video down because we're going to get out of our time. And I always like to take and push, make sure that it's very secure to the board when it gets soldered. I'm just going to give this another minute. We'll probably have to do a second video here. I'd like to show you a closer up version of this, but okay, now everything is soldered back in. And I'm going to shut the video down, and what we'll do is We'll do another video of this, putting it back together again, because I think we're going to be past our time if we're not careful, and they only give us about 10 minutes on YouTube to be able to do these videos. So this is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can get us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com. You can get us at 618-235-6959. Thank you for watching.